something he has always been exceptional at. So Cloud9 have some work to do. They're going to try to be improving upon their start here, and Immortals going to be looking to equal Cloud9 in the summer split if they can take them down here today.
Absolutely. So Immortals right now doing their very best ability to sit right now in 6th place. There is a very large gap between them and 5th, as of course there's still plenty more games to play, but a lot of work to be had. Gwen and Akali dropped off. Certainly Fudge and Perks both generally up to the task to play very aggressive assassins. I think a Rumble ban is mandatory against Immortals and almost no one else, but I think it's very right that Cloud9 does that. Varus is believed to be the best marksman in the bot lane. I want to see if there's an answer there as well, or if they're going to let Cloud9 get the pick of maybe like an Ezreal or a Senna.
Yeah. I mean, Senna still being available, I think, is one of the big ones. They do go towards the Zim ban, but you could already be looking towards, you know, Senna TK traded off for potentially the Ezreal plus double range. A lot of people like those matchups into that. Kai'Sa, another champion that is still quite popular in the LCS. There have been so many 4 melee dive compositions these days that Kai'Sa just really pairs well with that. Karma, though, the early pick for Cloud9. This could be down towards Vulcan if they want to run something along the lines of the Karma plus Ezreal we saw TL doing in week 1. That poke style has been very popular, but this can also go mid, this can also go top. You know, given that it is Perks, I think it's less likely that it would go mid lane, so I am expecting this to either be top or support.
All right, waiting to see what comes through for the rest of the draft right now. Keep in mind, we did switch patches, I believe, as the start of this week. So small nerfs to Kai'Sa, small nerfs to Varus. Clearly, Varus still on the ban table. Kai'Sa right now being overlooked for now, as Tristana is locked in for Immortals. Insanity, I really, really like him on damage champions. I was a big fan of his Ziggs yesterday. I've liked his Karthus a lot over time as well. Frequently, he's also on Marksman. I've liked him on Mages a bit more overall, but as a Marksman, primary output is just damage. I think Insanity is pretty solid there as well. But of course, that's going to be remaining flexible for a while.
And speaking about the new patch, Ziggs is a champion that got some pretty significant buffs. The Q damage went up quite a lot, especially at max rank. That is something that, you know, was making me think it might be coming out. Insanity did bring it out. When you're buffing your main spammable damage spell like that, especially for a wave clear champion, it really changes the thresholds at which you can one-shot the backline. And that makes it become very, very difficult to push against this champ. So it is Karma Ezreal, one of those options that I did point out. And with the Renekton coming through, you're already looking towards pairings such as Nidalee to potentially be banned out. That is the main one that's being played these days. Of course, the old school one of Elise just doesn't really see much play anymore. There are other AP junglers available, though.
Yeah, Nidalee certainly in the pool as well. I still think Talia can hold out and work pretty nicely, especially based with the opposing jungle matchup is Nautilus comes through as a highly prized support.
And Rogue has actually played a couple Fiddlesticks games. So, you know, that is something that is gaining a little bit of steam in competitive play. So it would be exciting to see. Nautilus plus Nocturne plus Tristana, it's looking like dive. And then on the other side for Cloud9, they're already drafting the beginnings of a composition that wants to kind of poke and kite back. I would be interested to see if we get something like the Zoe banned out. Perks has a very good Zoe. It is a good pairing alongside the Ezreal. People generally like 2 forms of poke, but if you over-focus on one role, you could be moving the Renekton towards mid lane then, you know, swap things around. Olaf as the ban is interesting. That feels like more of a Blabber-specific ban rather than the meta, because Blabber is so good on this champion. When he has been winning his MVPs, it's largely around champions like Olaf. He power clears, he gets ahead of the pace of the game, and he takes over.
Ziggs ban comes through, and I especially like the Olaf ban, to your point, when you've got a champ like Karma drafted up. I think Olaf always wants just a little bit of help over the top. It just kind of empowers him so much, so especially when you see a Karma ban, you're like, okay, that was going to the table. I think Volibear, to me, if you're banning Sinjao Olaf, I think Volibear just logically follows as the ban you would put in against Blabber. I still think it was one of his best games at MSI, for example. I think he's very good at the champion overall. But we'll see. What does Immortals want to get rid of at the very end? Because it's a mid-top support flex and a jungler, and they say Jace off the table.
Okay. Jace coming through makes me think that maybe Nocturne top for revenge. Of course, this is a 3-way flex. There's still, you know, opportunities for Immortals to try to get really tricky here. The only thing you're pretty sure is that Nautilus is support. Tristana could be AD, could be mid. Nocturne could be a 3-way flex on top side. So they do have options to try to pivot around here, but they're going to have to reveal a little bit more of their draft as Volibear, the call out that you did have, but banned by the opposite team than you were expecting it
clearly
from.
Clearly not what the plans were.
So Cloud9 to me is reading thinking that Xerxes would go Volibear here as that 4th pick, and that the Nocturne would be moved to a solo lane. And if that is the read, then Denial there I think makes sense. Lee Sin is still available. Gragas is still available if you want AP. Would be a less common option. This could also be up towards Revenge, and you have Xerxes playing the Nocturne top, so there still are remaining fairly flexible here in the drafts and could pivot based on matchup.
I'm hoping it's Gragas top lane, Nocturne mid, and Fiddlesticks is still coming through. All right. My mind is set on Nocturne Fiddle. I saw it a couple days ago, a bunch of analyst coaches popping off about it. You turn the lights off, Crowstorm shows up, it's beautiful. It's not going to happen, but I want to see it. All right. I think it's a good combo. Lee Sin coming through, though, going to feel really good. So Renekton, Lee Sin are the solo lanes. Karma is the support. I mean, there's a chance Blabber is playing the Lee, of course. Yes, that is certainly on the table as well. So, yeah, maybe that's still going to be true. But now they need their 5th and final pick in Cloud9 side.
And they kind of need some magic damage, unless they're willing to just go full-on early game, because there is Nautilus. This Gragas could also be going full tank. So that is a concern. Diana as the jungle here. Very likely should be jungle. I'm guessing Lee Sin top, Renekton mid, Diana jungle. They can flex around if they do want, but Diana is something that is gaining quite a bit of popularity, can clear quite quickly. Yes, you have the dash on a basic ability, so technically you can gank, but I mean, let's be honest, unless you're ganking a lane that has really strong setup, you're not really going to make too much happen. But the setup in the team fights is very powerful. You ult everyone together. The Ezreal ulti over top. The Renekton AoE is in there, so that can be pretty dangerous. Viego as the last pick, so looking like it is going to be Xerxes with the Gragas in the jungle here. So very interesting stuff. So generally when you are having Gragas jungle, it is going to be AP. There's not really a chance of full tank these days. So it does mean that there's no true frontline on the Immortals side, which I think somewhat benefits Cloud9, who is playing more of that kind of like mid-game skirmishy style of composition that doesn't necessarily have incredibly high DPS, barring the Ezreal getting way ahead. But it's a lot of dive on the Immortals side. It is the more standard meta kind of 4 melee style of comp. Cloud9 does have a little bit more range with the Karma. They're going to be looking to poke. They're going to be looking to play for priority. And you can expect Blabber to try to utilize that priority to just get ahead as far as the farm goes. Because generally as Diana, you really want to play for your 6. You really want to keep your farm up because this is a champion that's very powerful from ahead, but kind of lacks utility. And if you are playing from behind, you end up being pretty useless.
Yeah, absolutely. Such is the case when you don't have much utility. Your primary output is your stats, and if your stats are low, then you don't have an output. And I'm sorry, it's going to be a rough one for you. This is going to be a fun game. It's going to look pretty brawly, absolutely. The engage tools on the Cloud9 side, definitely a little shallow. On the other side, though, for Immortals, obviously Destiny can have himself a good run, laying some hooks, laying some ultis, and hope the follow-through is there. Obviously, Nocturne can try somewhat. Their actual backline damage is a little tough to get to, I feel like, because Nocturne can reach backline, but no one else reliably does so. So Insanity kind of can't be the one to dive. He can't really solo out an Ezreal or anything. So he's got to get us there hitting the front line. So I don't love this comp alongside a Nocturne because there's no complementary champions.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of up to Gragas to then reach backline, body slam flash, that type of play to try to start it up and pile in over top. But I do tend to agree, Ezreal's really good against these 4 melee comps. There is quite a bit of physical damage. Yes, it's going to be AP Gragas, very likely, but Ezreal is a third item, going to Frozen Heart almost always these days. You do get very tanky. Cloud9 will be spotted, but will be able to clear out the ward. And, you know, you talked about kind of a brawly game. For Conqueror on Cloud9. Feels like it's really good in those extended brawls. Gragas obviously going for Predator. This is more about the gank potential there. Hail of Blades, very common for Raze. And if you want to check out the free ProView matchup for this one, it's going to be Blabber versus Xerxes, who has been fantastic so far in summer. I have really been enjoying this, and it's always fun to watch the junglers and kind of see how much they actually track the lanes, because that is something that a lot of pro players are so good at that your average solo queue player is not. You know, while they're jungling, they're always, you know, using the F keys, checking out the lanes, trying to watch matchups, see which areas they can really pressure. And also, so many of these guys are so good at actually tracking where the opposing jungler would be based on the expected route, based on the timings of these clears, and it's something that I always really do enjoy watching myself.
So far, Blabber starting out top side on the blue, of course, with Xerxes' ward. That is completely known information. On the Cloud9 side, they have to guesstimate. They may know, you know, they may in fact track that Xerxes is starting bottom side, but it can't be 100% certainty. Just the read. So Blabber, taking down the camps as expected here on the Diana, getting the extra attacks off. No big problems here. Just doing the pathing as fast as possible. As you mentioned earlier, Diana, very, very fast clear. Should be looking good overall. And probably outpaces the Gragas early on, but they're not going to fight for the same Scuttle Crab, so it shouldn't really hurt Xerxes much.
And for all our Spanish-speaking friends, check out FlyQuest's Spanish co-stream at twitch.tv/FlyQuest. They have been doing it all year long. Very cool stuff. To have the different options, we obviously have the Spanish stream now. We have the audio-only stream for when you're on the go. Always love to see those extra options being popped out here. But it is revenge on the Viego. They did take that top. They did move the Nocturne towards mid, which gives you the ability, I always feel, to kind of have more options on how to move the map, especially when you have the push, which, at least in the very early levels, Insanity did. Anytime you go into Fog post-6, you kind of have that worry on the Cloud9 side. If it's not warded out, where could he be going? Do I have to be playing safe on this side of the map? It's also very easy to kind of group up with Xerxes, even if you're still in mid lane. Xerxes can look for invades towards Raptors and these types of plays, and you can be right there to back them up.
Yes, and that kind of coordination is really what we're looking for, is, you know, the aggressive mid-game plays. You put the spells on at the same time, you all show up together, and it can be quite the treat. Dash away as the fear comes through. Perk's not going to take any more than the, like, 60 magic damage that spell deals, so not a big problem there. Xerxes on 5 camp, skips Krugs, takes Scuttle. May look for the reset, may not. We'll see what happens.
Bot lane looking a little bit ugly. Down 2 full waves with 4 waves completed here on that bottom side. This double range poke lane here getting very aggressive. You can see Flash was forced off of Raze, so I think that was off of screen. Vulcan also used the exhaust there.
Had been a minute and a half ago, so that was like right as lanes met almost.
Yeah,
maybe level 2 spike.
It may be level 2. You just drop the exhaust on him, and he's forced to actually flash away. You know, if he did not start Rocket Jump or didn't have that available, but they are punishing this lane very heavily, and it is expected to be in Cloud9 favor. When you're playing these double range matchups, it really hinges on, can you keep them low enough that engaging is too dangerous, right? Because if the Nautilus, if the Tristana are full health and just kind of chilling, you can actually find that hook, then you can look for the all-in. But if you don't have the ability to all-in, all of a sudden you don't really have any recourse in the lane.
Yeah, it's actually sort of, you can spell it out to you by looking at the choice that Vulcan made in the early game, right? He went Relic Shield, he went Guardian. Guardian is the only keystone that'll save you as the enchanter. Aerie won't help with that one. And Relic Shield, so he doesn't have to play in the face. He can say, well, screw it, I can just last hit passively. It's less gold income. Like, if you believe you're never getting killed, you can spell thieves, you will literally just earn more gold. You're just farther ahead. This is useful. But, yeah, so level 1 fight comes in, but by the way, I have Guardian, I have Relic Shield, I'm not dying. Exhaust comes in, races get out.
Yep. Nicely played there by the Cloud9 side. I think Destiny just kind of overestimating what they could get done in that situation. Yes, you land the hook, but as you say, it's Relic Shield, it's Exhaust, it's Guardian. Vulcan not panicking, doesn't exhaust the Nautilus or anything silly like that. Immediate exhaust plus the RQ onto Raze, and that just means, all right, fight's over. You got to leave. And just well played there. Also stacking the wave. This means Raze is going to get more behind off this, as this wave will push in and deny the Cloud9 minions. So King going to have about 2 full waves to farm and should extend his advantage to, you know, I'm expecting around 15 or so CS in these next couple minutes, potentially. Insanity, though, has maintained the push. Does have a couple extra minions to farm, so the mid lane going very even, but he has had the shove, and Xerxes, as a result, is just kind of keep his farm up. But Blabber, who's only been power farming, is just straight up clearing faster. You know, he did the 6 camps into the Scuttle, whereas Xerxes did not actually cycle his Krugs. He went 5 to Scuttle. That has kind of put him behind, and Blabber is going to hit his 6 earlier as a result, which is kind of concerning when you're on that Immortal side. You know, generally on the Gragas, you're more of the playmaker. You have more early options.
Trying with the first stun. Insanity slowed down here as well. Root's going to come in afterwards. Finally, spell shields a bit of damage, and well, there's not enough follow-through, so he's fine, especially with the reinforcements right next to him, as both supports and both junglers are here with the squads. Bit of damage, though. Insanity getting a bit low. Nice anchor over the top, and now here comes what may be the team fight. Nocturne turns out the lights. Maybe there's no TP to follow, and they will walk away safely. No flashes lost anywhere.
Just a trade of ults from the mid laners. Perks pops his ult, so Insanity pops his, trying to dissuade any sort of engage. And up here on this top side, things looking very even. Fudge shoving this in. He'll get his first recall. It is the Iron Spike Whip helping with that wave clear, helping with the push, where Revenge going for more of that defensive option here with the early tabbies. You can see the CS lead maintaining, slightly extending from when we checked in last year for King, but they want to continue the push. They want to try to cash in on the turret plates. You know, so far, they have been able to extend the CS advantage, but they haven't actually gotten access to the plates, so it's not that concerning as long as Immortals can kind of keep this at parity from this point forward.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's the threat you kind of have when you're Tristan and Nautilus and you're near your turret and you're full health. It's like, if you out of the turret, you're in range of my engage tools, and how lucky do you feel? Like, have you warded the Gragas? Do you know if he's coming over the wall? Like, you can't fight back. You're in turret range, and lo and behold, no turret damage.
Plus, one of the things I'm always nervous about when I'm sieging onto Tristana is that explosive shot and an auto or two on range minions, the whole way's dead, and all of a sudden the turret is hitting you, right? Then you get hooked in at the same time, and you can pretty much instantaneously go down. So to your point, you really have got to be tracking Gragas to be able to look for these plays. Blabber and Xerxes are both 6 now, so we could potentially see some jungle action. Gonna be interested to see if either team wants to try to start up this dragon. Neither of the junglers are amazing at soloing the dragon out. You know, Diana would do it a little bit faster, but no one has really made the move towards that first Infernal. You can see Diana, though, hovering mid, looking for a potential counter gank. I think he is expecting Perkz to be attacked after he used his ulti. And Xerxes on the invade here.
And not easy to lock down, though. Like, if Vulcan was Nautilus or Leona, I think maybe Xerxes can't even make that play, but he's like, what are they going to do to me? Walk at me on Renekton? Cool, see ya. Like, I'm out. Like, at best, like, Blabber flash ulti, you flash response, you're like, all right, well, nice one, everyone. So, yeah, feeling safe. That is what a low-engaged team will allow you to do.
Ooh,
walk over to control wards. Perkz, yeah, taking some of the gold, though, right now, and everyone's around to hold it. Blabber smites away the big chicken as well, now starting the red buff. So with the lanes under pressure, thank you, Lee Sin, wave clear. A buff steal, 2 camps taken away by Cloud9.
Yeah, and you can see the bot lane from Immortals is actually moving up. Tristana now rotating towards mid. Immortals with the read that Cloud9 wanted to start a peril, but they just take the camps away. Ezreal was bot, he resets, so Cloud9 don't actually need to force anything. And I do kind of like what they got out of the play more. Raze will be able to get down towards bot lane now, but you can see King on the mini-map actually, you know, heading out, was going down towards mid, is going to be heading back towards bot now, so they wanted the ability to at least threaten the Rift Herald, neither team willing to commit to it.
Yep, end of the day, you don't want to leave Tristana alone. If you sent that Ezreal over towards it and started playing for Rift Herald, you'd lose 2 turret plates pretty much instantly, even against double longsword. It's small buy, but it's still going to get stuff done. So Raze finishes the push. He can finally finish Noon Quiver, which he desperately needs. His first recall was pretty rough, all things considered. As King's going to pick up a whole bunch of farm, he's going to continue to stay ahead on the very expected build of Divine Sunderer first on Ezreal. Very, very strong. Manimune gets finished afterwards. Tier whenever it's convenient, whatever. Fudge. Wave clears if he wants it. Obviously, E plus Iron Spike Whip from level 7 onwards will always one-shot casters, but playing it slowly instead to keep Revenge overextended.
Looks like Xerxes may be going Shurelius here. So looking for kind of more of like the pseudo-supportive item here to be able to have the additional move speed there.
I forget if this is the build path or not, but I've also seen Imperial Mandate Gragas, but I don't know if it has a Ruby Crystal in it. But that is one build we saw. Actually, it might have been Xerxes himself last week.
I think it does. I think they're all
they all have very
gem in
the same
there.
build.
Yeah,
okay,
very similar.
Then yeah, Mandate is, you know, I'm gonna hit people in AOE and they're just gonna hit them back, so we're all gonna get move speed, and it's just like a damage. It's just a damage item kind of.
I always find that interesting. I mean, it can work. I generally feel like Mandate works really well when you have poke style champions. You know, may not be that because it's kind of easier to apply, but we'll see what the build is going to be. I was expecting it to be more of like the Night Harvester style. They're looking for bot though. Alt TP coming through.
The Arcane shifted into the turret. We've got a Tristana there. We've got first blood. Raze earns 400 gold, and like his name speaks, that turret might be next.
I like the play from Insanity. Aggressive move towards bot. Cloud9 though does have Herald, so they will be able to at least get a couple plays back here mid. And Fudge will TP bot to cover. They can rotate around. Blabber can move towards top to cover there. So Cloud9 with some good movement on the map here to try to cover on all sides. And Fudge now looking.
Follows pretty well, but okay, flashy kick. He's got it. Well played, Fudge. The rocket jump a little too early. It let Fudge follow the whole way in.
Nicely done. Does get in there with the flash, and then there's that little mini root, essentially, once you go for the kick. Ray's not able to actually flash out of there to safety. King moves up towards top side. I do like the rotations here from Cloud9 to try to cover after what was a good initial play there from Immortals. So here it is one more time. So that was honestly just really quick. You go with the ult, the instant TP. there's no chance you can actually react to that with a teleport on the Cloud9 side unless you were already staring there and immediately press it like the same split second. So, you know, once that Nocturne ult comes through, you cannot TP down there. No real way out for King. Even if you Arcane Shift away from the tower and then flash, you're still going to be in vision of Insanity, who's then going to ult on top of you, and you have no move blocks, so you're going to be dead either way with no one on that side of the map. So nice little punish. Ezreal generally considered to be one of those champions that's super safe to leave on his own, and it is true, but still punishable in some circumstances.
Not against mid-Nocturne TPing on top of you. That one's a bit tougher, so hey, well done though. Kudos to Immortals. They have kept the game a bit close. It is still a 300 gold lead to Cloud9, so that's going to still feel reasonably comfortable as we wait for any neutral objective to actually be attacked. Keep in mind the Rift Herald was crashed in the middle a while ago. Of course, that was claimed. That's why there's that 300 gold lead, because there's 2 turret plates taken in mid. That money, by the way, I believe all went to Blabber. Perks could not get in melee range of the Herald charge, so it's just more money on Diana, which is fine. It's a good spot to put money on. But no dragons to anyone's name just yet, and obviously all the turrets are about at least half health.
And Blabber actually is where a lot of the Cloud9 gold advantage is. You know, they're up only 300-400 gold right now. He's up like 600-700 gold. So, you know, he has been getting a lot of that. I do expect him to just go towards Night Harvester, go for that kind of bursty style build. There are other options, of course, but that is probably where he will go. And we'll see how effective he is going to be. His first Mythic should be coming along pretty quickly here. He did get Tier 2 boots, but has a lot of gold, has been power farming, did get those plates off of the turret charge. So it's been a very kind of calm game here for Cloud9. You know, generally you do expect them, when you're looking back towards spring, to kind of just be running away with games against some of the lower ranked teams. This has been one that has played at parity, and does mean that it's really going to be down to just straight up team fight execution. Who's going to play better around these dragons and these objectives when they inevitably come? Because so far, no one has gone for one. Even if Immortals get this is a 14-minute dragon. Soul is like a pipe dream.
Soul is what, at 34 minutes if you kill dragon on cooldown every time forever without any interruption? Yeah, that's not going to be any time soon, as now there is a fight commencing. 300 health on the dragon. Destiny tries in. Good smite. Blabber gets the first one. King gets out. Ult's going to land on the 2. Flash out for Xerxes. Nearly caught. A good stopwatch buys Blabber some time, and now Perks is on top of his opponents. Big damage out of King. Fudge claims the kill. A well-fought battle for Cloud9. A good smite. A good everything.
I just don't really get why Immortals was committing to that fight when Insanity is topside with no TP. I mean, look at the Nocturne. He's way up there hitting the tower. He has no ability to join that fight, so I get maybe trying to sneak the dragon, but as soon as Cloud9 shows up, you should not be going in. You should be backing it up, and Revenge was coming into the fight. It looked like Immortals did want to kind of scrap for it, but that feels like some miscommunication. Players not really on the same page, because it's just not a play you should be going for when it's going to be a 4v5.
Absolutely agree. Mistakes, unfortunately, for Immortals might cost them. We can watch that fight again. The Renekton, of course, TP's in the middle, so this starts with the 4v4.
Yep, exactly. It is a 4v4 in the start, but the Renekton does join. Perhaps the read was that Nocturne will be able to stop the TP, that, you know, he sees the Renekton up there, that he can get the Fear channel on him, but the Fear takes a while to actually go through. It's not any sort of like instant stun. And you could see on the minimap Insanity was trying to chase down towards Perks, so I think that was potentially what Immortals' read was, is, hey, don't worry, I will stop it.
Okay.
It is going to be Mandate Gragas. You called it. That is coming through here, so we'll see. You know, you land that poke, you try to get the follow-up damage to actually proc that. Could be pretty good potentially here if you can apply it to multiple people on the Cloud9 side in one of these scrappy fights where there's lots of melee on melee action. I'll be interested to see how much bonus damage it actually does get through by the end of this game.
Yeah, because it's like mini Night Harvester, right? It's less damage, but it does apply some on initial, and then your teammates follow up, and you get more of that, and it gets pretty close in the same numbers, and then they get the move speed instead of you, or I think you both get the move speed, and something like that. It's like, okay. Like, there is some logic, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Insanity, very easy to clear the minions out. Obviously, Stride Breaker plus the passive auto nearly one-shots most of the wave, so easy enough there. Cloud9, very close in gold because several turrets died. Keep in mind, in the back half of that fight during the replay, top turret fell, mid turret fell. It's 2-0 in turrets for 1-0 in Dragon, so a close gold game to keep that one in mind. But Cloud9 still feel like the aggressors. Fudge pushing in top lane. Perks wants to share the gold. This is our turret, comrade.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to claim some of that. And look at him waiting. He wants Fudge to actually, you know, full finish the recall. He's like, no, you don't get it. It's my gold.
$6 million is not enough for Perks. He wants 300 gold as well.
6,300,000. Excuse you.
All right, so here comes the play topside. They know the Lee Sin recalled. No one from C9 can TP in just yet. Revenge is here wanting some from the last fight. They're trying to burn down Perks. He's taken a while to kill, but they get him. And only now is Fudge in the fight. Kick, flash in. He's going to be feared, though. And he's just delivering money. He'll feed Perks, and he'll feed Insanity.
Oh, Perks going down there. Overstayed on the turret. Could have actually just killed it together and then backed off. He wanted the local gold, wanted to deny every single minion. Overstays, dies. Fudge tries to TP to bail him out, and they give over 2 freebies. It will also be the Herald off of this, so that is sloppy stuff from the Cloud9 solo lanes there. Pretty costly deaths. Allows Immortals to have run of the map for now.
And they're using Rift Herald with it, right? That's what they're getting. So, okay, we got the kills. We'll get the objective afterwards as well. Top's pushed in, mid's okay. Bot is pushed in here as well. So the run of most lanes here as this fight starts again.
Yep, it is the TP in from Revenge, same time as Insanity goes forward. It's a long lane. The tower's already down, so there's not really any realistic way out here for Perks. He does survive a long time. Fudge arrives. He knows to have any chance he would need to get an insta-kill to start this off, and I think that's why he commits so aggressively. There's not really any escaping for him once he's committed into the play. So, you know, flashing in, trying to get that execute kill onto Insanity, but is unable to do it. Revenge has the Renekton Ghost. He can land a stun. You know, the heal comes through from the Vorpal Blade's passive, and just not going to be able to make it happen.
I want to say, oh, nice sidestep by Perks. Very impressed by Insanity in that replay. He spell shielded the empowered Perks W, which, like, that can only be a read. There was not enough of a telegraph. If, like, you have mechanics to just, like, W auto at the same time, the humans can't react to that. So that was a straight-up read, like, Perks will stun me here, hits a spell shield, got it right, and it's like, yeah, now the fight looks free. So I want to give a ton of kudos to the read for Insanity. That's why that fight looks so good, was a play that most players would not have gotten the timing right on. So that's impressive stuff.
Very nicely done, and they're going to be looking to grab their 4th turret of the game here. Already knocked down all the outers. They're pushing in to actually finish off this bot one. Raze just used his jump. We'll get the reset, though, so should be fine. And Perks taking a lot of damage on the way out.
And the anchor catches Karma. That is absolutely a kill. Immortals looking to stop the losing streak, and they're ready to keep on going. Nocturne starts the dive. Insanity gets in. Explosive Cast follows up. There's the 2nd kill for Revenge. Cloud9 scatter to the winds.
They're going to lose their inhibitor tower. If not their inhibitor here, they're running out of minions, so Cloud9 maybe going to be able to try to defend, but they've called off the recall here. Fudge was recalling, does cancel it, so he's just going to try to trade towers. Cloud9 getting run over here by Immortals. They're getting these really aggressive engages, capitalizing on Cloud9, you know, staying around in situations where they shouldn't. They punish them on the top side. Now, eating all of the explosive shot damage off of that turret going down from Cloud9 on the bot side kind of prompts that engage. And they're again able to use Insanity's ult plus TP really effectively. He's been having a great game from the bot side turret dive, the top side punish for the 2 kills, now another play on the bot side. All of his teleports have felt extremely effective.
Yes, and his non-teleports at least turn into turret kills. Like, he's really, really played an outstanding Nocturne game. Revenge, honestly, he's had his ups and downs. This is a good game for him as well. 3-1-1 on the Viego. Doing a slightly more damage-focused build. We've seen Shield Bow into full tank. This one's Divine Sunder into what I'm still guessing is Shield Bow second. And you can see Immortals on a pretty solid gold lead right here. Viper flashes, but it still kills the Karma. And obviously, you are never living with an anchor toss into Nautilus ult.
Yeah, everyone is there at the Nocturne ult plus TP was already channeled. There's no TP on Fudge. He's topside, so they cannot answer. They are the ones getting punished on this immediate follow-through. I like the confidence from Immortals, knowing, okay, Fudge has no TP, Karma's already dead. Yes, this is an inhibitor tower. Yes, this is 19 minutes into the game.
But it's 5v3.
But it's 5v3. We take this, and they go immediately, no hesitation. They get the kills. They knock down the inhib. Yeah. And because you took down that bottom inhib, guess what? Baron is on the table now post 20 minutes. They can threaten this very effectively with both you know, Revenge and Raze putting out a lot of consistent damage. They can actually threaten taking down the Baron, I think, reasonably fast.
Yeah, this is looking good. I'm a big fan of Immortals so far in the back half of the year. Looking to go 4-4. If we're doing Summer Split only, they will have the same record as Cloud9, assuming they close the game out. same record as the defending champions, feels pretty good. And keep in mind, like, 5-2 is the best summer split record in the LCS right now. Like, you'd be a game behind that. Like, that's pretty good. Obviously, still more room to make up. 11-15 would still be a sub-500 record for a while until you get a few more. But the Immortals are looking good, and we'll see how long they can keep this kind of performance. One where they are clearly outplaying Cloud9 and picking up wins as time goes on. So top being pushed and the rest of the team taking control of the western jungle to make sure no one can walk in and check Baron. The longer they play in the fog, the less Cloud9 knows about, are they forming Baron yet? Is it happening? What's going on? So far, it's just darkness.
Absolutely. We also got to remember that Immortals has failed to close out a number of games where they've been in great positions, and the lead is still only 1.5K. We're 22 minutes in. It's even on Dragons. And Ezreal's going to be really difficult to deal with, I do think, especially now that we're getting towards the 3-item stage. When the Frozen Heart comes through, it's like, well, the Mandate Gragas probably isn't going to one-shot you.
Probably not. But maybe Nocturne's going to try. They've jumped on, and Blabber just instantly gone like a fish out of water, and now they run right up to the Baron.
And look at bot lane right here. The super minions are on the Nexus turrets at this point. King has to go back. He's got no TP. He's playing Ezreal. And that means it's just going to be an Immortals Baron. There's no chance you can actually contest this in a 3v5 with Destiny there waiting for you. So Immortals, this may be the pick that breaks the camel's back here. Have been pressing, have been finding better plays than Cloud9 throughout the game. And now they have Baron. They have the ability to really extend that gold lead here and potentially deal game-ending damage.
Huge right now. How good's the Red Bull Baron buff going to be? Honestly, we're expecting a lot out of this power play here. They will have Baron during the next Dragon spawn. Sure, it's Dragon number 3. It's not going to be a ton, but that'll stack up as well, and I'm curious the number of turrets they get.
Yeah, here it is one more time. And Blabber just not pre-Zoniusing that. I believe he did actually have the Hourglass prior to this play. That's a play where I expect you to actually just press Zonias before you get knocked up by the Nautilus ulti to try to delay, to try to see if your teammates can pile in. He may have made the read that, guess what, I'm already dead, so save the Zonias for the next play, but pretty rough stuff. Cloud9 had lost control over that topside jungle, and Immortals have been great at punishing.
An attempt here on a revenge, 500 health on him, puts the ult down, I think, expecting True Shot Brash come over, wanted to get the displacement in to maybe dodge that skill. It was on cooldown, but he can't know that 100% of the time, so okay, ulti down, stays alive. Meanwhile, top lane is under attack. Reinforcements near Raze. That turret is going to fall pretty rapidly as Tristana, yeah, she's good at that kind of stuff. That's going to fall.
And look at how much experience that Raze has gotten. He's been such a beneficiary of all the solo XP. He's the same level as the solo laners on Cloud9. He's multiple levels ahead of Ezreal, right? Like, he has just been left to his own devices. And they go.
Flash Diana with the rocket jump. He predicted it, so Raze is alive, but it's still a 1-for-0. Does Cloud9 get the team fight? They will knock down a 1-for-1, but how about the rest of the battle? Revenge finally coming for reinforcements. Perks in the front, Fudge there as well. The flash in for the stun. Perks knocked out. Can't get much of a heal. Goes in for Raze. Can't catch it, but King finds up the kill, and King goes forward. He's looking for more. King means he keeps jumping over more and more of the checkerboard pieces, and Immortals are falling to him. They're dropping over and over again. Insanity is going to fall, and from the deficit, Cloud9 get the Bud Light ace.
Oh my God, freaking keeps happening. Immortals unable to close. They had the Baron buff. They had everything you feel they needed, but Cloud9 find the engage. This time, Blabber going in, finding multiple members with the ulti, gets the Zonias off, buys a lot of time. And while he is buying time, Fudge and Perks were getting work done. King was untouched. He's sped up by Vulcan, kept in range, getting that damage out consistently, and Cloud9 have just bought themselves a lot better options in this game.
Alrighty, well, turns out this Dragon's gonna go Cloud9's way after all. A very small gold lead to them, and momentum based on the fact they won that last fight against the Baron buff. One that started, by the way, in what felt like a 4v5. Renekton was not in the fight at the start, and yet it still worked out.
Yeah, here it is one more time. It's really about the engage. Catches 3. Raze has a nice buffer on the rocket jump, But the Zhonya's getting off was so critical because during this, Perkz is getting so much work done. Their front line is dying while he is in stasis. Yes, he goes down, but it means Immortals has to commit forward to actually finish off the kill onto Blabber. Fudge into the back line, trying to get in over onto Raze. The flash out there from Raze, but Perkz kiting back, catches the heal from King, and he is sped up by the Karma. There's just no escaping Ezreal at this point of the game when he's getting sped up consistently there. And I've got to give a lot of credit to how Perkz played this. He danced in and out of that fight so incredibly well, always riding the line where he is very low on health, and he is drawing Immortals forward to try to kill him off, but never actually being quite far enough to die.
And he's trying again now, taking his battle up against Revenge. Perkz pops the ulti and has to walk out. Revenge too good of a duelist with Divine Sunder or Ruin King. Just lifesteal tanks against other melees, the 1v1. Not a battle you're going to win very easily, so okay, fine, off he goes. Nice try. Equal gold, though. Up a dragon. Ray's going to get a little bit of money to himself. Rocket jumps away to stay alive.
Oh, and King just bought a full Frozen Heart, so that's pretty big. That last fight that we saw, he didn't even have any components, and the Dominix came through from Raze, but a full Frozen Heart coming through means that Nocturne, Viego, Tristana, these champions are going to have a lot more difficulty now just trying to 100-0 King. And when you have that additional armor, it also is increasing essentially the effective health you're getting from the Karma shields. You know, that kind of makes it more valuable. It's just getting harder and harder and harder to burst this guy down. And generally, I do feel when you're playing with shielding champions, hitting that certain threshold where you can't get 100-0, sometimes it just makes it impossible to like ever die because they get to the second round of shields, they get to the second round of cooldowns, and that can be pretty intimidating for a composition like Immortals.
You really can. And you got a lot of auto attackers here, and people are getting durable. As far as mages go, Blabber's looking better than Xerxes, honestly. I mean, I think Diana definitely is a bigger carry mage than Gragas.
One thing I would like to see on the Cloud9 side, though, is some healing debuffs, right? You have Viego. There's going to be a tremendous amount of lifesteal there. Gragas obviously has a little bit. Insanity has quite a bit here, you know, as far as the passive healing that he's going to have built in. You know, multiple Conquerors as well. I do think it can be pretty valuable, especially for Viego, who relies so much on the lifesteal to really tank through these frontliners. Yeah, it's the lifesteal and the passives, right? If the battle starts going well, you cut him that in half, not bad, because it's a lot of healing when he takes someone over. And sometimes you can turn those fights around after the resets, sometimes not. Yeah, and I mean, I also just think armor is super effective. So like Thornmail to be on Renekton just seems incredible here, right? Yeah. You know, you can easily apply the healing debuff with your W, and there are 3 physical damage dealers. HP is enough to survive through a Zhonya's plus Mandate Gragas. He's not going to 100-0 someone who has 4,000 health. So you don't really have to worry about building magic resist in this case for Cloud9. So, you know, moving towards Thornmail just seems super valuable. All right, well, it's going to be a trade of steals as blue is taken by Xerxes. On the other side of the map, though, it's Cloud9 who owns the right-hand side. Now, this is a good set of control wards. Immortals knows that there's no direct ward interaction here from the Cloud9 side. Blue Trinket is required. They know Fudge is on the other side of the map. They had seen him a while back. True Shot Barrage checks it again. Says, okay, this time it is off. They did disengage. Okay, we can wait for a while. But again, Fog of War. But in transit, they were spotted. Perkz front lines goes right in, though. Here comes the battle. Destiny gets the Zhonya's. In the back line comes the Nocturne here as well, looking for damage. Flees onto one, but it wasn't on the King. However, Renekton has fallen, and it's time for Viego to pop off in Renekton's skin. Let's see if he can make it what happen. Diana's already picked up one. There's a 4v4 right now. Fudge going to be slow, going to be knocked down. Raze is alive. That's the important part. Viego right back in, but King so far untouched. Gets away from Gragas. 2 versus 3, maybe 4. Down to 3 as he takes down the Nocturne. Heroics from King. But 2 versus 3 on the map means Immortals can run right back in for Baron. And they have their Tristana, so that's really all you need here. Revenge can take this up. They're going to try to go over and poke them off, though. You hit a couple Qs here as King, and maybe you can get them off of this Baron. You've got to focus Xerxes. How can you kill Ezreal here? There's no good engages. The Arcane Shift is on time. This is just not going to work from Immortals. This needs to be a reset. Well played by King and Vulcan. Yeah, that's a good read there. If you know the flash is down, if you know the ulti is down for Gragas, they don't really have the ability to turn here. You can't just jump straight in as the Tristana in this case, but now right back onto it. As the reset came through, Cloud9 doesn't have teleport except on Perks, and if he comes in here by himself, it's just going to be an int.
I love this play. They waited for recall to be done. There's no way Perks stops this. TP for good measure, bringing Insanity. What an amazing play from Immortals. Absolutely love the decision-making here. How about the fight, though? There's a Dragon alive, and it's a 5v5 where half your team never reset the health bars, the mana pools, and the gold hasn't been spent.
It's the 300 IQ shot call there. Cloud9 is like, good job, team. We got him off the Baron. All right, everybody back to base. Let's reset. But Immortals just stay out on the map. They don't need to reset. They see some recalls coming through here. They go forward. They get the Baron. Cloud9 does move to Soul Point here, but again, Immortals with more power on the map right now. Here is the initial play. The TP's coming through. Nocturne into the backline. And I have to say, King was fairly ineffective for the earlier portions of this fight. Wasn't really on point with a lot of his damage. And on the other side, you know, Raze is getting a lot of damage out on the Cloud9 frontliners. They focus down Fudge. They focus down Perks. They take more out. And if it wasn't for Insanity going a little bit too far forward here on the chase, I do think that Immortals maybe even just instantly take the Baron. But it was a good kill for Cloud9, delayed the initial play, they pushed him off the Baron, but it was the shot calling from Immortals to stay on the map and take that delayed Baron there that gets them the big reward.
Okay, well, Raze's rocket jump is down, still has flash, but you can see he has to kind of predict, when does Renekton go for the flash and power W? When does Blabber go for the E flash R? Because if I don't buff a rocket jump, I'm dying in the CC combo. Yep. He has been on point. He has dodged most of his engages very, very well. He's been a good AD carry. But now the kick flash brings in revenge. Ults over the wall. Does he get to safety? He has a blast plant, but the Lee Sin Q lands. Big damage and an even bigger chase. They will pop the Guardian Angel. Now the push is continuing elsewhere, though. Yes, Viego will die. He will not lifesteal long enough, but it will mean top lane tier 2, top lane inhibitor turret dropping as well. But you have to respect the 5v4 when eventually Cloud9 fights back.
Nicely done, though, from Fudge. What a play there. Not only getting the kill, but getting to GA is actually so big for the next fights here. You know, if you're looking forward into the game, these 5v5s late into the game can be decided by GAs. I think especially if you're making the read, we are going to lose an inhibitor anyway, then doing that sort of play minimizes loss and allows you to be able to kind of stabilize, push out the wave. They did lose that top side inhibitor, which is more of a big deal because you're not playing towards Baron now. You're actually playing towards Dragon next. So we'll see if Immortals can take advantage of that.
Looking for it. 25 seconds left on the Baron buff. That one's going to time out pretty soon. You can see the turret score is 8-4. The gold within 1,400. And now
Fudge.
TV bottom lane. Fudge, we know he's flashless. This was known information. Sen can't ward hop. Kick buys a bit of time, but they get the slow out of Gragas. Willing to eventually ult as a Q comes in. There we go. That is a big shutdown. The Baron buff might be ending, but there's no turret here. This inhibitor is definitely gone. Now, how much happens in the 5v4? For 50 seconds, Fudge isn't here. Top lane, no inhibitor. That wave's pushing in as well. Nocturne sent to mid to clear it in. They're going for triple inhib.
Yeah, they are going to be having the push here. This is really tough for Cloud9. You can see that Cloud9 is heading up towards that top side. You know, multiple supers coming down that top lane. You have the split in all three lanes right now. Viego pushing in bot side. Immortals able to find Fudge, punishing him there. After that great mid lane play, he gets a pick, he gets picked off. But Immortals looking for the triple inhib here. I'm not sure that Cloud9 are going to be willing to make a stand at this inhibitor with revenge behind them.
Cask buys a bit of space. Diana onto the front. All right, no one dead, but the health bar is getting a bit low. It shuts down Diana, though. Raze on a rampage. Revenge going to be fine. Cask actually up now. It was not that. It was just the easy barrel for damage, but Blabber's engaged. Did not find the target. Raze got out, and there wasn't enough follow through in all the melees.
Fudge is up, though. So did he buy enough time to actually protect this third inhibitor? That would be big, but it looks like it's not going to result in them being able to defend this unless Cloud9 are really willing to go aggressive. King shifting in, but does have to back up.
Yeah. Minion waves definitely help that, where now they can tank the Mystic shots and Tristana can free fire. It knocks down triple inhib. Their only reward right now is the fact that they're getting a Cloud Drake and an eventual Baron as well during these inhib deaths. But you've got to reset and get back on the map soon, because anytime inhibs are down, yes, they're locked in the base, but they're just getting gold and XP that you are not. So Cloud9 in the current position of catching up until Immortals' next aggressive play.
And we'll see when that aggressive play is going to come through. Cloud9 do have very poor wave clear overall. So, you know, I do think if you push with supers in all lanes, I don't think you necessarily need to wait for the Baron here as Immortals. I think it is reasonable to actually just escort in the waves from all sides. The engage from Cloud9 is really not that threatening as long as you have a well-timed rocket jump. Raze should always be fine to either self-peel with the Buster shot or just kind of hop right out of there. And then it becomes just really tough. You can kind of threaten the Nexus towers, you can push them in, and you're end up in this situation as Cloud9 where you're dealing with both supers and the Immortals threat. So we'll see if Immortals are willing to go for that. For now, they're for sure just going to grab the Dragon. You can tell based on their positioning, they just want to move over towards this Dragon and grab this for free. And then the question is only, do they wait for Baron? And I think if you're waiting for Dragon, you're probably waiting for Baron too, as it's only in 30 seconds. So the question then becomes, does Cloud9 actually want to challenge at the Baron, or are they just going to turtle up and pray they can wave clear?
Yeah. And keep in mind, each minion wave, right, there's three lanes, 2 waves a minute, and each wave's worth maybe 150 gold, roughly. So there is 900 gold per minute. Now, of course, with Insanity here, he's getting the mid lane wave, he's getting that back, so that's fine. But it is giving some gold over as you buy these objectives.
And even more because it's triple inhibs. You get 2 supers per wave. So that alone is 90 gold per super. So 180 plus the additional minions here. You're looking at a tremendous amount of gold getting funneled in here. But it will be Immortals Baron. We'll see if the inhibitors are going to be respawning in time for them to kind of have this dissuaded. There's going to be another wave or 2 of supers up on that top side. Then at least it won't be 2 supers per wave. But it does feel like Cloud9 are going to have no way to actually defend this top side one. And they're just going to be stuck kind of trying to defend for the Nexus. And this is where that wave clear is going to really hurt. I mean, look how long it's taking him to actually knock down 1 super. There's going to be 6 per wave.
Just jumped in because he saw the rest of the squad defending the bottom lane, as now it's time to attack the waves. Perks goes in, wants to find it, knocked back a little bit, gets himself the first stun, but it's an easy disengage for Immortals. Time to shepherd in more of the waves. Bot lane is stacking up, mid lane's reinforcing, the dive comes in, Guardian will pop. Diana gets nothing, absolutely nothing caught out there by Blabber, as now we are looking at the back line. Raze barely dodges Sonic Wave, barely dodges the kickback as well, jumps in. We've seen Turtle make these plays, but stays alive as the kills keep coming in. 4v4 for now. King kiting back, staying alive. Guardian for Fudge, he stays alive as well. So it's still 4v4, but minions are the 5th man right now. TP right on the back line. Is Fudge going to get anything for this? He is left alone. Kills himself. The TPs come back, and it's time for Immortals to close out the game. It was a 4-game loss streak, and that ends today as they knock down the defending LCS champion.
Huge win for Immortals, almost taking down TSM yesterday, and they do take down Cloud9 here today. They were so proactive with their globals. Really, I think Insanity is deserving of so much credit. Multiple plays across the map with the Nocturne ulti into the immediate TP. No hesitation on finding those dives. When you think back to the first dive on Ezreal bot side, the dive at the inhibitor tower in bot lane that got them that tower, that got them that first inhibitor, it was all off of those Nocturne plays and really aggressive moves here from Immortals. I think if they played a more passive game, they would have got kind of whittled down by Cloud9. They would have struggled to deal with the Ezreal, but they just never allowed Cloud9 to dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah. Really, really impressive stuff. Obviously some good fighting, some good individual plays. You mentioned Insanity a few times. I want to know who made the call for that Baron, that second Baron. That was a thing of beauty. Hopefully someone sources this information, because that man deserves a raise. Regardless, that wasn't intentional. He was on my screen. I couldn't, it's just
how your brain works.
Homonyms, you know, what are you going to do? Either way, again, a really fun game. Super happy we got to be watching that one. Cool to see Immortals kind of come back from, again, that 4-game slump. That was rough, but they are looking like one of the better teams in the LCS. They look completely revitalized here in the summer split. Yeah, they carry over that spring split roster, but look, they're making playoffs for sure. They are playing well, though, right? Like, they are legitimately a good team right now in the LCS, and I want to, you know, continue to watch that growth with interest, because the sky is the limit. I really feel for them. Looks like the votes are in. The player of the game is, yes, absolutely, I believe it, Insanity. In the mid lane on Nocturne, I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, I thought he was incredible. You know, I mean, I talked about it a lot, but the proactive plays around the map was very, very effective. He had priority in mid, really did play a very good game and kind of showcasing more flexibility as far as the champion pool here too. Mortals definitely a lot to be happy about. You know, are they going to be challenging for the top? Remains to be seen. They need to develop that consistency. I mean, you know, this was a great game, but you said it yourself. They're coming off of a 4-game losing streak.
Right.
So I'm not willing to put them, you know, up at the top with like the 100 Thieves right now who are still performing excellently despite a loss yesterday.
Yeah.
But, you know, they have improved leaps and bounds, and I'm going to be really interested to see if they can kind of continue to build on this. Will there be continuous improvement? Right now, you know, they were better than Cloud9 today, but Cloud9 obviously has a lot of work to do. They feel like a far cry from what they were in spring. I don't think it's fair to say that all of that is on the Sven for King swap. That is going to be easy to kind of talk about because that is the main roster swap. But this is a team that did have a lot of individual errors in some of their losses, and this is a team that just isn't kind of snowballing games in the same way that they had been previously, right? You know, there was a point in the game where they had gotten control. It felt like they were in the driver's seat, and it felt like they were the ones who could dictate the pace of the game. And in spring, I feel like this is a team that from there doesn't give you any air. And here, teams are finding ways in. Teams are finding ways to get individual outplays, or it's kind of weird to say, be the more proactive team, because it was always Cloud9 that was willing to fight, that was always on the same page, and it doesn't feel like they're always there together now. You know, they're more disjointed. You know, you think about the top play with Fudge being in to try to bail out Perks. You know, it always felt like Cloud9 is that team that has people roaming up to join, but you know, now it feels like they're a little bit on different pages.
Yeah, so we'll see if that can come together. There's only so many weeks left for Cloud9 to pick up all the pieces, but a 4-4 start is not what they were wanting after the first 8 games of Summer. Now we are stepping away, but on the other side, Immortals head coach Giotto will be joining the State Farm analyst desk to break down that game. We'll see you there.
Was it Coach Diff?
Coach Diff. Yes.